framed picture of Wellington and I with Angela in a heart.
Thank you.
And it came out of my boob. Angela.
All right, Drew, don't listen to that Yourwetsock. He copies everything I do. That boy has no sense of identity. He doesn't enjoy dismantling ex-boyfriend's car like we do, Drew, because when I told you on your show that I flew over there in Nigeria unannounced and I tore up Michael's car, you started talking about your own experience. See, don't we have so much in common, Drew?
You're gonna come out now because I know he likes his car. And I just started tearing. Here he come too. I said, "Oh, nice to see you." After like a bumper gone, the tag ripped off. Yeah. I said, "Welcome," because he always tells me bounty. I'm like, bounty? Hello, welcome to your car.
I vandalized an ex-boyfriend's car too.
See, Drew, it's a natural thing to do. How many of y'all wrecked a car?
He copies every damn thing, Fi. He has no self-identity. Hey, Socks, dab me up. Our impressions of the Dirty Bird are so good that she said publicly that I copy her. Let's go. Now let's talk about Drew Barrymore, because I want more. I really like that song that is a popular TikTok sound. So anyway, today I got a comment. People bashing Drew do not realize she is not in control. She is an employee of the channel bound by contract. If the execs wanted to bring Deem, there is a reason behind it. Drew must have fought, and that's why they put the responsibility on her co-host, which I have not seen getting attacked here. Internalized misogyny much? Internalized misogyny much. Right away, let's not throw out false allegations, because we were actually harder on Ross Mathews than we were on Drew Barrymore. Even though the last time I checked, it's not the Ross Mathews show, it's the Drew Barrymore show.
Now, do I call you, is Angie, Angela, Miss Deem? Can I call you Mima? What should I call you?
You can call me Queen.
Oh my God, that was so funny!
Forever and ever, my queen.
I say that because, you know, I back women, 100. And we're all queens, you know, and I say I'm queen of me. We're all queen of us, right? Of me.
Let me know what you wacky wet socks think about this in the comments below, but I've read the comments on both videos, and I gotta say, the criticism for Drew Barrymore was very tame. For Ross, not as much. I think majority of people were madder at Ross because he's the self-proclaimed 90-Day Fiancé expert that should have known better and not brought on one of the most abusive people we've ever seen on reality TV, because that's a bad look for everybody, especially Drew Barrymore, because the show's named after her. And Drew Barrymore was a flower girl in his wedding. They claim to be so close. It's such an op move, because if someone's your friend and you're so close to them and you work together, why would you bring a ticking time bomb PR nightmare on the show? Especially when Drew Barrymore is already catching a lot of heat for her interview style of getting very close to people, violating their personal space and touching them excessively. Not to mention, she had Kamala Harris on her show and said we need more mamala in the country. The past couple years under this administration has been terrible for all Americans. But here's the thing, you can't just be so agreeable and be this fake, disingenuous, oh, the world's all sunshine and rainbows, isn't it? Oh my gosh, you're such an inspirational woman. She's not an inspirational woman. No one likes her. And that's the problem I see with Drew Barrymore. She keeps interviewing all these people that suck. And she's not only interviewing people that suck, she's gassing them up, the old glaze job, telling them that they're so great and everybody loves them. It's not the case. Look at the comment section. Her comment section was so bad when she posted these videos with Angela Deem. They got a whole staff. They got a lot of money behind this show, but not one person was competent enough to Google search the Dirty Bird before they brought her on the show. So it just goes to show there's a lot of talentless people in positions where they shouldn't be. And for Drew Barrymore, she's a talented actress. As a TV host, terrible.
Really quick, Drew, I gave you a 101 on 90-Day Fiancé. Are you in?
It's so wonderful for me to hang out with someone who's like,
And here's another criticism I have as someone that doesn't watch a Drew Barrymore show. You have all these connections. Y'all have been networking in Hollywood for such a long time. We can tell that by how certain behaviors or certain things that people say are normal to you and you laugh about them. None of us would laugh about a woman that looks like a crackhead coming on the show and talking about how she flew unannounced to Nigeria and tore up a dude's car. Right away, I would say that's disgusting, and it's revolting that you did that when you had no confirmation that he was cheating on you. And before that, you cheated on him multiple times, but in typical Respucia fashion, right? Because their relationship is very similar to that movie Norbit. She gaslit him and made him believe he was crazy, basically just yelled at him until he dropped the issue altogether. When you have this portfolio and this access to all these people that have made a positive change in the world, are very influential, why don't you invite them to come on your show and talk to them and learn from them? I think what I'm trying to say is, what in God's green earth do we have to learn from Angela Deem? What does she have to teach us? Nothing valuable, so why have her on the show? And like I said earlier, Socks, I've read a lot of your comments, and boy, oh boy, did you have a lot of intelligent things to say. I'm going to read a couple right now. Dallin977 commented, in my opinion, WTF is Drew B thinking Angela is abusive to Michael and they're rewarding her. Shake my head, angry emoji. Not only do I agree with this comment, but they bring up a very good point, which is, why is bad behavior being rewarded? And this is on brand for Angela Deem, because us 90 Day Fiancé fans have had to watch this woman for years keep getting these TV opportunities, and a lot of us have been affected by abuse. Whether it's someone you know, whether it's yourself, it's terrible to keep rewarding someone that does cruel and demeaning acts to another person. It makes no sense. Gina4NK commented, I no longer like Drew Barrymore. How dare Drew uphold this racist, abusive woman? See, right away, this is the problem, is name association. Even if it wasn't Drew's idea, as that previous comment stated, she still allowed it to happen on her show. This is not the Ross Mathews show. And if you're not in control of your own show after building up this brand, then you got Ali93796 commenting, Angela has been publicly hurting and abusing Michael and others for years now, and they're going to praise her? Imagine inviting an abusive husband on the show and supporting him. An abuser is an abuser. If Angela Deem was a man and Michael was a woman, she would never be on the Drew Barrymore show, because it seems like even during Men's Mental Health Month, no one cares about men's mental health. And you can see that both sexes are treated very differently and have been treated differently for years when it comes to physical abuse. And going back to that previous dumb comment we read, why don't we look up the dictionary definition of misogyny right now? Misogyny, hatred or prejudice against women typically exhibited by men. It is generally accepted that misogyny is a consequence of patriarchy, male-dominated society, and the term may be applied to certain individuals as well as larger systems, societies, or cultures. Interesting. So we should give someone a pass because they're a woman and the show is named after them, and they built up a brand for years in Hollywood, but they're not to be held accountable because this segment was Ross Mathews' idea, but it's their show. Make it make sense. And how is that misogynistic, holding someone accountable that's a woman? It's like people say these words and they don't understand the dictionary definition of these words. Same thing with the Dirty Bird. I'm copying her? No, I'm commenting on her. Like I comment on all the cast members of these TV shows that we review, whether it's 1,000 Pound Sisters, 90 Day Fiancé, etc.
One person from all of 90 Day Fiancé that is my absolute favorite.
Don't you goddamn lie me in my face.
Angie, calm
What
down.
did you say, you lying?
She has brought the drama, the heart, the mayhem, the mischief.
There has been no word from Ross Mathews or Drew Barrymore. They have not put out any statement about their interview with the Dirty Bird, aka Angela Deem. Instead, they're trying to sweep the situation under the rug and not talk about it, which is hilarious because she made a whole video trying to explain herself during the writer's strike. If she made great episodes without the writers, people wouldn't be as hard on her, because to be honest with you, if you can do it all yourself and you're that insanely talented, you don't need the writers, I'm gonna do it myself, well then go ahead. It shows everyone that you don't have an allegiance and you're not willing to stick up for the writers, which is going to lose a lot of people's respect that care about that, certainly. The problem is with Drew Barrymore and with Ross Mathews, they go through the motion. They probably have little interns running around telling them what they're going to talk about, what they're going to say, the scripts and whatnot, and they just read from the teleprompter. It's just so disingenuous that they have to have an entire audience gas up everything they say. Could you imagine if I had a whole room full of people that were gassing me up after every joke I told? You guys would be like, that is so cringe, Nick. And I just said that, but I'm fully aware that people are gonna say something like, that's how daytime TV works. I get that, but maybe someone should reinvent the wheel or the formulae, because clearly it's not working. So many people have stopped watching dumb shows like this and are watching YouTubers, TikToks. Ross. Our attention spans are getting faster more and more every day. We don't want filler of people clapping. It's distracting and it's annoying for the majority of us.
There's one person from all of 90 Day Fiancé that is my absolute favorite. And guess what? I couldn't sleep last night because she's here today. Do you know how many hours I've spent with this woman?
I mean,
You're so out of touch with what your audience wants to see, with what normal people want to see. You've been affected by all these, fake nonsense people because you look at the fact that they're famous and think, well, this is going to get our ratings up, Drew. It's not. I think that if she is really not involved in the decisions, which I highly doubt, she should be more involved because this is your brand. This is your name that's there. It's not the Ross Mathews show. It's the Drew Barrymore show. So you should be in control of every single person you're interviewing because your ass is on the line, girl. If you don't want to talk about this interview, if you don't want to apologize, that is your decision. And I'm never going to say you need to do this or you need to do that. However, I myself am curious how this even happened in the first place. Someone should get fired. If this was done by Ross Mathews, someone that the majority of people, even your own fans, don't like, to be honest with you, I don't watch your show, but I will say, if you had a different host on that challenged a lot of these elites that you interview on certain things, it would actually complement your personality because your approach is very, okay, let's talk about how awesome you are. Wow, I can't believe that you're this ray of sunshine in the world. So it would be actually entertaining to see someone that's your counterpart be more cynical.